Pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's see. Any additions or deletions?
Yeah, I just have the addition to approve the 7:30 special meeting minutes. We can do that
Yeah,
after
same
the
time.
7:15.
Anything else? Alrighty. Recognition of guests, Carolyn Smith.
Hi. The reason I'm here is because I'd like to know what's happening. I know Kim Collins is very sick and no doubt she probably will not make it. The Richford Center Cemetery up in Richford Center. Of course, Riel is sexton and I'm vice president, and my brother Henry Haggerty is president. And our concern is Kim Collins worked 2 or 3 years or even longer making new cemetery maps up there. She worked a long time, a lot of hours. And she finally completed them maybe 2 years ago. And Kylie, the town clerk, told me Kim hasn't been able to do any work since last November. Well, every time there is a lot sold up there, or a half a lot, whatever, Riel has a paper that I made up with a lot sale. And it gives the name and the address of the person buying the lot. And when we came on board with the cemetery, there was a lot missing on that. Like, when you buy a full lot, there's A, B, C, D. 4 people can be buried in it. Well, there were a lot of not knowing whether they were in A, B, C, or D. Well, every time Riel sells a lot, he has on this paper where that person is. And when he gets done with it and gets the money, it comes to me. And Kim gets a copy of this, and she would update her map. Well, it's been months, and I'm afraid after all the work she's done, and it not being added to on the map, something's gotta be done. Somebody's gotta take charge of her position on doing it. Now,
And was that like an official duty or something she was doing
I
in some official capacity or just a volunteer
haven't
position?
any idea.
She was paid extra to do it, in addition to her lister and
Yeah.
housing officer. It was like a special project that we budgeted money for.
It's this form, every time something is sold at the cemetery.
Okay.
Now, it used to be whoever, that when a lot was sold, a lot of times people would buy a lot and they were doing it for in the future.
Yeah.
It used to be whoever dug the grave up there for Goss or whoever that would say they're in A, B, C, or D.
But that always wasn't true. I mean, since
In the old time, yeah.
Since
but-
Jeff Lawyer came on board, he's helped a lot in doing that, but we have found, if it's written on this paper, and there's a copy goes with the town clerk when there's a deed made for that lot. Kim gets a copy, the listers get a copy. And one thing before we started working up there, there were a lot of things that didn't get written down. And so this is the complete sale, and it should go on that map to be updated. Now, Riel has the newest maps, and he has taken it upon himself, in his copy, he has written down every sale. But as you folks know, maybe you don't know, Riel's not in the best of health, and we don't know how much longer he can do that. So I took it upon myself to come here tonight and let everybody know somebody here should be doing it, to take over what Kim was doing.
Yeah, I think it's something we'll have to talk about and
And
figure out who we can have do that.
What is
It
the,
was all up to date as of, maybe 5 years ago, so it would be what's been sold in the last few years that hasn't been added to the existing map. But I don't know that we have her software on her computer
Well, that's
for the
it,
mapping.
nobody
Yeah.
has it but Kim, probably.
Yeah,
I wonder if
So-
Eric could confirm that, where it is.
Yeah.
he might be able to, and then
Oh,
we
I'm
should
sure.
have it transferred to maybe Marissa's computer, and then we can
Trying to
Figure
figure
out.
out who.
figure out who's gonna do that. Because we should be able to go back and take where they ended off a few years ago and take the sales that have happened since then and be
Awesome.
able to update the map.
We have paperwork, these little papers, we save them from year to
It's already
year.
helpful.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we can get those from you.
Copy of
Make
those.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, whoever does it, yeah, we'd be glad to work with you. And another thing this paper shows, for years and years, people would buy a lot, and there were never cornerstones put in. Well, you go up there and you try to measure a lot, and you don't have anything to go by. So, when we came on board, the price of the lot has the price of 4 cornerstones built into it. So we work with Champlain Monument because they've been very good to work with. He gets a copy of this, so he knows where to put a monument or where to put the 4 cornerstones. So every one sale we have, it has cornerstones now. So, and the other thing I'm sure you folks are aware of, that Judy and Don Noyce are leaving after the mowing season is over this year. They're done. I don't know what everybody's, not only in Richford, but all over.
So
Yeah, we're
what-
gonna have to get something in writing, I think, from them,
Well, I
if they're gonna
called,
terminate their contract, I think.
yeah, I called Don this morning and Judy answered, Don wasn't there, and I said, just what are your intentions? And she said, they'll be here working until the mowing season is done. And they're putting their house up for sale and everything, they're selling their equipment and they're going south. She's got a sister in Delaware, and that's where they intend to go to live and buy a place down there, so.
what time of year do we usually open up contracts? Like, I mean, is there a like for the next season? Like, you're
I'm not
about
sure, but they
soon?
still have a year left on their
Yeah,
contract,
so we need to, yeah, I get, well, we need that confirmation, but we also need to be proactive.
Yeah,
So like, at what time of year do we usually look for,
I wanna say
to
I
put out
looked at
bids for the next mowing season?
I think I looked at the RFP, I wanna say it was posted like February, March,
That
the
late?
latest maybe.
Seems like we wanna be,
Earlier,
it seems like we
maybe
wanna do it
November.
sooner than that, like
Yeah.
At the
like
end of it,
like the fall, like, Like, but even
November.
now would be
I'd
good.
say,
Yeah,
yeah.
now.
leave it
Budget time, yeah, we wanna know that information.
And that's just why I'm bringing it
Yeah.
up, because the amount of work they have done in Franklin County, there won't be a lot of people looking for mowers.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
What kind of time limit is this project? Just because I'm trying to get
The
us,
mapping,
yeah, like, I mean, is
it's
it
not a
like,
lot of time.
like an hour a week, an hour a month?
I think I
At the most now, it shouldn't take much time at
Yeah,
all now.
'cause
But the bulk of it, the hard part was going back, what Kim
In
did,
time.
and doing the old ones.
Yeah.
And that's all done.
So I think, yeah, and I think she did all the old ones, and I think she's got like big maps that have empty lots. It's just a matter of filling in who bought what lot.
Exactly,
and where.
exactly.
So I don't
Filling in
think,
the names.
I mean, we have bought, through Blair's, we've got more land up there, but, Henry, my brother, is, trying to get a hold of a surveyor to have it surveyed so we can keep going, selling lots up there, so,
Okay.
okay? So if you need any help from us, ask us. But these slips, they're somewhere here too.
Mhm.
Because as I just came in on Kim Collins' door, there's the last two ones I have taped to her door because I don't know what to do with them.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so you'll let us know if you find someone?
I mean, I don't know about you guys, is that something we can like,
Right.
ask Lisa to do? I mean, is it that, could this
should, I would think so.
So
So I
we
don't
should-
see this taking, what, I mean, we've only got to
'Cause-
update a couple of years.
Yeah, because she creates the deeds for when you bring in those.
Okay.
Or no, when
So, I mean,
is
It's
it
Emily.
Emily?
Yeah,
Emily brings in
Emily
the
now.
check, and then who bought
She
the
brings
plot,
She brings
and
in
then
a slip of that paper with
Yeah.
a check to
With
pay
a
for
check.
the deed.
Yes,
yeah,
that'd
and
probably
then when she
something
pays
should
for the
do, yeah.
deed, Lisa creates it.
Yeah.
And then Wally signs it and it gets recorded.
so yeah, I mean, just touch base with Kylie, I guess, because I mean, I don't want to speak for her personnel. But I
Right.
mean, I would think that wouldn't be too much to ask.
Okay, I just hate to see it drag on and then just get more and more. But another thing, all winter, of course, we probably don't sell a lot up there. But when it comes spring, probably April and May, as soon as the snow is gone, we can get in the cemetery, people are asking for lots. And it runs from then till there's snow time, so
Yeah.
there is a break.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Carl?
Okay. Before I give you what I got, I want to ask each one of the board members what's their opinion of the zoning. Who has to follow the zoning? Is anybody exempt from the zoning? What's,
Nobody should be exempt from the zoning, we should follow everybody.
including the board?
Yeah.
Is that everybody's?
Yeah.
Okay. This, I want to pass this out.
You all want Marissa?
Sure.
I have an extra one, I mean, somebody wasn't.
Yeah.
Thank
I'll
you.
take one.
What I wanted you to look at was on the first page.
Where you started?
Where I put an X, yeah, where it says first order of business. This is when the generator permit was applied for with the zoning board. The generator that's on the property line back of my house. If you read this, it goes on saying a screen of shrubs needs to be planted sufficient to hide the generator, block the generator, the transfer switch, the ball, and the fence. Then it goes on to say a little bit about it. Then on the next page, they went into discussions to talk about their variance they needed for the generator because the town didn't think they needed to follow the zoning at the time, so they put it right on the property line. So they have to file for a variance for the setbacks. They never should have got the variance because they didn't meet the 5 criteria because they have acres and acres of land up there. But at the time, that zoning board did give them the variance, contingent on the town agreeing to install and maintain a screen of shrubs maintained to the height of the generator, And motion made by Hercules and approved unanimously to go. So as the generator is right now, you guys are violating your variance for your setback.
Okay.
So you either need to move the generator or plant bigger shrubs.
I say, this is my opinion, and it was my opinion last time, is we just purchase these shrubs, hire someone to go put these in and be done with it. My opinion, the town board shouldn't have been up there putting them in the first place. So I'm gonna make a motion that we purchase the shrubs, the 6-foot shrubs, to honor what this,
Foot or taller.
6 foot or taller, to go ahead and put these back in place where they should be by someone other than the town crew. I think there's a little something there that probably shouldn't be involved with. That's my thought on it.
I'll second it.
Well, let me ask this question. If I have a call out to D&D Electric, I'm supposed to meet with them this week. If we move the generator and give you the right of the variance, get within the variance, does this become moot?
Yeah, if you stay far away from the property line, I can put my own stuff there. The generator was still right on the line, so we couldn't do anything.
So what, John, what is the variance? What is the setbacks needed? Okay.
John, what's the setback for third?
Or 10 feet, yeah.
10 feet. We have learned since that this board was not right in a variance, because variances are for structures, as far as whether they need to be higher or whatever. It should have been a waiver of the setback, which you could go, the board could look at it and grant to waive half of the thing. So in other words, they could have put it at 5 feet instead of the 10 feet from the
Okay.
but if we felt it would, so.
So even at 5 feet, it doesn't meet that. It's right.
Right, if it's right on the line, it didn't meet it. You're absolutely right.
Then you need approval for the other, we'd have to go back to the 5 feet.
And get approval for the 5 feet.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna move it, you might as well go 10.
True.
So I would just say, we just change your motion pending outcome of the meeting
Depending on.
in the cost.
I'll second that. That makes
So-
sense.
So I mean, do you have that, Marissa?
Okay, so what are we?
So say, start all over, say the
Right,
motion.
so right
again.
now, depending on what it's gonna take to move the generator, if
Cost.
it's totally not feasible, we'll see what happens. We'll go with the shrubs. If it is feasible, we'll move forward towards moving the generator away from the property line.
And like I said, I am supposed to meet with them this week.
So what is feasible? What dollar amount are you looking at for moving the
Well,
generator?
I mean, we'll have to see. I don't know what it depends on if we can have the town crew, build a new.
There you go again, Walter.
Yeah,
You
but
don't understand. Every time you try saving a quarter, it costs you $100. Get it professionally done.
Well,
You can't have the hacks like if you do the sidewalks at Richford. Our sidewalks look horrible, everything does, because everything's done half-ass.
Okay, well, I'll ask both ways. I mean, it really depends. It depends on the direction of I think it depends, according to what I've talked to the owner, it depends on the direction of the wiring. If the wiring's straight towards the school, it could be an easy just,
Slid.
well, no,
Well, not
They-
slid, but moved.
they can pull the pipe up and go move it that way. But if it depends on, there's a lot of unknowns as to how it was, the wiring stuff was done for it, so.
It was like $3,500 just to hook it up. Then you got the cement pad, the switches, all.
Yeah, and that
That's
was.
a big project. You're looking at $15,000-$20,000.
Well, I guess we just have to see, and if it is, see which is the more feasible.
So what timeline are we talking? We talking?
Well,
He's meeting with him this week, he said.
well, that's what I was told, so. I would say hopefully by next board meeting, we'll make a decision to go one way or the other. Is that reasonable?
Yeah, but this has been dragged on forever and ever and ever, Wally.
Well,
A simple trim job with paying Donald Noyes $50 or $200 to go trim it would have saved all this.
yeah.
The aggravation. But no, you send the town boys with a chainsaw to cut all the limbs off to save $100.
Well, at this point, there's nothing we can do about that, that's hindsight. Are you comfortable with this?
I'm confident
want
it's not gonna drag on forever, Wally. It's been going on to get these shrimps trimmed for a long time. Now we're dealing with, we were supposed to get 6-foot shrubs, and then we got 3-foot shrubs.
So let me ask again, are you comfortable with us taking this approach, giving us 2 more weeks to go one way or the other?
If it's 2 weeks,
Okay.
yes. But if it's longer than 2 weeks,
Okay,
that's unacceptable.
alrighty. Do you have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Alrighty. Lillian?
Okay, wondering when the new trash contract's gonna come out. I mean, talking about the trash and stickers and stuff has come up before, and then it's just kind of, I don't know. So,
But we were working on new policies on the trash, wants to know when the contracts and all that stuff.
Didn't we just do a contract?
The contract with John Weatherby or
For
the
6
actual
months.
like charter and the,
well, whatever, have you just keep signing with John Weatherby, or are you putting it up for
We extended it with
bid?
John Weatherby until we figure out what we're gonna do with it, with the
Okay.
policy and stuff, that's what we did, we just extended with John.
Till, and so what,
Until we
Okay.
figure out, when we sit down with the policies and go through that, or a charter, or
It's a charter.
whatever we need to do. And then go from there with the public, and then from there, if we don't do anything, we'll put it back out to bid.
okay, but you've extended his contract to when? Do you
I
have a
think it was
date?
6 months.
I didn't meet with him, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, Kylie walked over and talked to him, so I think it was 6 months, but I can't swear by that.
So 6 months from when? I mean,
This was about 2 months ago?
Something like, yeah.
Yeah,
about 40.
so I'm thinking
So-
about four
so
more
we're
months.
looking at around the end of October, first part of
Yes.
November, that
Yes,
you should know which way you're going, whether we're going with changing the charter or just
right,
way up ahead.
to have more information, yes.
Okay. So I'm seeing around town, that people are starting to set out yard debris. When's the pickup again? Do we have dates set for that, for the town crew to come around?
Well, it's spring and fall usually.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but spring or dates.
Well, spring it's May,
No,
Is it
Jason said that
April?
it'll be the first week of October,
first week of October.
because he's trying to time it with leaves. We do not want the debris pickup to be an all-year endeavor, because he was talking about somebody on Main Street putting stuff out there, and like,
Yeah,
we just can't, it just can't be an all-year endeavor picking up piles of stuff for people in the village, so it's,
because
we want it to be those 2 timeframes.
Usually he lets me know 2 weeks before and we put it on the sign or we put a notice
Okay.
out.
so it's still that the stump dump is closed.
They're allowing people to bring, what would we say, totally organic?
Organic,
Non-processed, that was the word.
non-processed material.
Okay,
So branches,
so people can go down there whenever they see the gates open and do that.
well, I
That is-
think
I think we need to
Still-
have people check in with,
Jason or Kylie,
I was thinking the town.
just so we have some,
Yeah.
we don't want it to be a freewheeling thing.
Right, because we've had problems with it
Yeah.
in the past, so, and is there any way that word can get out that the stump dump is available for use, but you've gotta go through the town
Can we put
to
that-
let them know, so that people know that there is a resource and they're not piling it out on the side of the street, making it look terrible.
Can you put that on the town, is the town website sufficient for you?
Yeah.
Like a bulletin board post?
So, it's gonna, can we, going along that thing of getting the word out, is it possible to get whatever paperwork needs to be done so that, like, the DRB, that's what I'm concerned about, that our meetings are always posted?
Yeah, you just gotta let me know when they are. Give me a notice saying they're this date and it can go on.
So we need to do each date and not, because we're the second Tuesday of every month.
Okay, then yeah, if you give me a list of dates, I'll put
Okay.
it on there and I can have 'em- I can set it up so it can play those dates.
Which brings up another issue because we scheduled a hearing for this, the 13th of August, not stopping to think about that's election day. Is this room going to be open, fine to do our?
What time?
6 o'clock. That's what I just wanted to double check.
Let me talk with Kylie to be sure and we'll get a hold of you. I can send you I think I have your email. I
Yeah.
can send you an email. Usually, cause we just have usually food set up in here, but
Right.
we should be done by 6 o'clock. We can have it picked up so you could utilize the room.
Yeah,
I don't see a problem with that, but I'll double check with Kylie.
We
Just
would
to
have
be sure.
canceled the meeting except we have a hearing. So,
Yeah.
of course, I'm all the time. Okay, thank you. Just wanted to circle back on, I talked about getting handicap parking designated for the library, for town hall should have a spot, should be one for the credit union.
There is one for the town hall.
It's on the side of the building.
There is a sign
And
there?
there's a sign, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, missed the sign.
Yeah.
But then for the library should be by the ramp, their ramp.
Right.
And then if we can have one by the ramp
Just get a
back
sign.
Yeah.
at the ATM for, because there is a handicap.
There's not a sign at the bank, but there should be one by the
Yeah.
ramp right there.
By the ramp, cause that
Yeah,
is
so
the
if we
parking.
get a couple
Yep.
of them, just put
Yep,
one in
I'll
each
just get
place.
a couple. Yeah.
That would be good. I mean, at least you're following the rules then. and
Yes,
You've got
yes.
those showing, even if people, anybody and everybody tries.
Those are gonna be at the post office?
Where the ramp comes down, where the ramp is for out back for the thing,
Right by the ATM where the ramp goes up to the ATM
Yeah.
vestibule.
but then also the post office don't
So
have
you
one
guys
either.
are aware the post office does rent like 11 spots there?
Oh yeah, that's not one of their spots.
They're all marked.
They're all
There's only
marked.
3 extra spots beside what the post office has.
No,
Yes, there is, go count them. There's
They
only
have the-
14 spots there.
the post office has all their signs up, and then now Federal Credit Union has all their signs up. The only thing we're missing is the one right in front of the ramp for handicap.
Yeah, which isn't against the wall thing. It's
Yeah.
over there.
And then, I don't believe, yes, there is a handicap one for the post office, cause it's right straight across.
Right.
Yeah.
There's 2 handicap.
Yeah.
So, then, another thing is, so I can't remember where it was left off with the rail trail, where the town was trying to extend it. And then it seemed that it was not going to go anywhere. Was it ever decided if we could get out of it and what the cost was? And
We're still in the process of figuring out exactly how much we might possibly have to pay back.
Yeah, it's been a process. We sent a message, February?
February
And we didn't hear back until almost the end of June.
Yeah,
And then it involves us, basically they just said, well, you have to submit a letter doing this, this and this. So we finally got all the information and basically plead our case as to what we think we owe and what we don't owe. And it's a little more nuanced because there's some stuff out there federally that makes it look like we should have to pay back very little, but the state's saying we have to pay most of it back, so.
Negotiation.
Well, it could end up being legal, but, so I mean, we haven't let it drop, it's just like anything in governmental, it seems to take a while.
Oh, yeah, know how that is. Want to thank you. I see there's finally doggy bags in Main Street Park. That's just within the last couple of days, so thank you. There's a couple of things with property that the town has. One of them is I keep thinking about the sidewalk that goes by the parking lot of the Baptist church over to the little school that hasn't been really maintained. At one time, you were thinking about selling it. Have you reconsidered and feel, because I feel it's good to have it well maintained for those people, that's a safe way for them to get to the store. Or what's your thoughts?
Where are we talking about?
It's that little strip of land that goes from what used to be the old elementary school over to, is that Academy Lane, that street?
Academy.
That
Oh,
little
yeah.
street that goes up the side.
yeah, that's Academy,
Is it-
Academy Lane.
Yeah,
And there's a sidewalk there existing?
it's an old one, yeah. Um, I don't know, it's probably something we should look at selling,
Just, you mean just that strip of property?
because we don't use that little strip for anything.
But why wouldn't we use it as a sidewalk?
Why would people use it?
You've
Why would
got,
you put a sidewalk beside the post office nobody uses? Same thing.
you've got older people that may not drive. That, wouldn't it be safer for them to at least get to
There's a
Academy
sidewalk
Lane?
going around the corner.
Right,
Okay, I see what you're
and then
saying.
coming down the street there
Yep.
to go over to the store.
They would cut
There's
off
a
all the
sidewalk
walking
coming
path.
around the corner from Sutton, the old school.
Mhm.
There's not a sidewalk there on that corner.
No,
So she's.
No, Sherry, you would go through the parking lot.
So it
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
through the parking lot, the sidewalk.
I guess I need a frame of reference, I'm not really, there's an existing one there now?
yeah,
Yes.
Okay, I have to look at it, I
Yeah.
mean, but,
Just a walk between the parking lot of the old school and the parking lot of the Baptist church, basically.
Mhm.
I don't think it's plowed or anything.
I don't think so.
we'll look at it, I guess. I mean, if it gets maintained, it might not be this year, I think. But we'll see.
and then Willow Street, the property that you have rented out, still not being cleaned up. You put that into your new lease, you said give it a couple of months,
So I'll
What's-
follow up with them.
and
Because if you get accosted by porky teacher on the street, oh my God, it's not pleasant, let me tell you. And I told him to come to a meeting, and he said he has traumatic brain damage, and if he came in here, some of you people wouldn't be walking out.
but it,
Well, I mean, I don't know. His property is none better. So
There's a
I-
lot of issues on that street.
Yes.
There's a lot of complaints that come through
Yeah,
this office
yeah.
about that whole,
It's not neighborly, huh?
no.
But yeah, I'll follow up with the homeowner. And I guess we have to decide, I mean, do we have that staked? I know, I think Kylie said she thought it was. I mean, if we comes to the point where we have to take it back, we need to know exactly what's ours and what's
So it
not.
needs to be appraised,
Well, I mean, I thought like,
not appraised, though.
Pin-
That's
it's-
I think it's been surveyed.
Yeah. So I think we just, yeah, we need to confirm that, so we're, you know, if and when we're prepared to just say, everything needs to be back this way.
Cause I think all those little houses maybe own 10 feet around them. You know, none of them have hardly any land with them at all.
Oh, that one had a little bit of a lawn, but it wasn't that huge. My grandparents lived there years ago.
Okay.
Okay, and then they were talking about selling a lot, I think it's down in that, to, Clausen it was, so that they could store stuff. Do you realize that there's a right of way across that land to the neighbors, so that, you know,
It's on the low end of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and the last thing is this engineering that you're doing with the water, checking on the water, whether they have lead pipes or anything, is the town paying anything for that? Is it, okay.
And that's federally mandated, we didn't have a
Okay.
choice.
Well, I'm just was wondering about that because it wasn't too professional. I got my letter, well, I got an envelope with my name and address on it, but I got my neighbor's letter. And the one color brochure thing, I got 2 copies of that, other people didn't get any, so, you know, it's, kind of makes you wonder.
Who's administering it? Us?
It's
Well,
an
this is through the-
engineering firm,
Yeah.
MK something.
And you look at that, that's there, open it, you can see the letter is addressed to my neighbors. And I'm like, wait a minute.
So what did we have to provide them with a mailing, all our mailing addresses?
Basically, the
yeah.
meters, the mailing addresses, yeah. And they were supposed to
Send them out,
take
right?
it and run with it and get what they needed to satisfy the federal government. And we did get a grant to cover the cost of them doing it.
I just don't know if you heard from other people, if that, listen, because I don't know where my letter wound up. Probably one of my other neighbors, so.
I got a question. You guys mentioned earlier you might be doing something different with the garbage. So if it doesn't include the stickers, are you guys gonna have buyback for the stickers? I got like $1,500 worth of stickers that I haven't used.
I know we still have stickers that we brought new to us.
I mean, I was forced to buy them. I didn't wanna lean on my house. I did it. Now you gotta provide my service for those $1,500 worth of stickers. Or else buy them back.
I think at this point, we haven't,
We haven't figured out exactly what anything is.
No, but I'm just saying, if
and we
you
had
wanna
no
get rid of
plans
that.
to discontinue
Yeah.
the existing service.
Well, Sherry said that you guys might be looking at other, if you are looking at other options, and you do away with that.
Right, but we've been
I
looking
would-
for 6 years since I've been on here and we haven't really come up with anything yet at this point.
Well, you just mentioned a few minutes ago that you had other thoughts.
Right, we've had the
Well-
same other thoughts for 6 years and we have not done anything yet.
So how can you
That I
just,
know of, because that's all
so how
I've
come you
been
just
on.
don't say you're gonna fix the system that we have, that you gotta do a new system?
I didn't say new system. Carl, we've been through this 100 times over in the last 2 years.
Yeah, and it doesn't go anywhere,
It ha-
nothing
Exactly,
changes.
nothing's changed, so it's where it is. I'm no longer garbage, that's Kristen.
Well, you can see how well that goes.
So Kristen's the one overseeing the garbage and stuff. We've been working on policies, we've been working on all these different things with it, so we haven't got to the end of it yet, and when we do, everybody will be part of it.
Well, I just wanna put a bug in here that there should be a buyback for stickers if you do get rid of them.
Do you have anything else, Rowena?
Yeah, the ARPA meetings, have they been set?
So, I can answer to that. So we have set a date, we just gotta make sure it's gonna work for everybody, so look out for a posting within the next couple of days for that.
And what time are you looking at?
Around like 6 p.m. It'll be later, so they're,
Yeah, because I
it
was
gives
talking with some
option for more
people,
people to
and
come. Yep.
6 o'clock and 7's a little better because, there's a lot of people that work out of town.
Yep.
And stuff, so yes, if
And
you
it'll be a-
definitely get it.
Yep, it'll be a public informational meeting for ARPA. So just keep an eye out within the next couple of days and we'll have a posting out of that meeting.
Okay.
John?
Yes, I know you're probably still working on some police, but we've had several cases of vandalism those last week that I was involved with. We had flowers pulled up. They spray painted all over down in the overlook on several of the, the cement wall there. And I think Beth O'Brien from REACT, I think she had Richie Riley come and clean it up today.
Yep, she
Yep.
did.
And they broke into the downstairs of the historical society, the basement, last week. They smashed the padlock off.
That's all they did.
Yeah, well, and they broke up, there's a junction box there that has a switch in it and some outlets, and they smashed that all up in it. That tripped the circuit breaker, so it was so dark in there, so I don't think they went in and did anything, because you couldn't see.
I just don't understand why. I really don't.
And then, so John told us that this morning, so Jason was gonna go down and put a new padlock on that. So that'll be locked back up.
To answer your question, we haven't had any more discussions with Franklin County Sheriff. And we were kind of at a standstill with what they were willing to present and offer. We are doing, I don't know, what's the best word, a study with Enosburg,
Yeah.
Bakersfield, Sheldon, about starting more of a regional police force and its feasibility. That's kind of, I don't know if it'll go, if it's gonna be feasible, because ultimately the underlying problem is a lack of police officers out there. That's part of that's part of what Franklin County Sheriff is struggling with. That's only part of their struggles, but it's also, we've reached out to other sheriff departments, and while they indicated they would like to help, they're having a hard enough time just staffing and meeting their own current needs. So I don't know if we can, do the regional and get enough staffing to make it work, but that's kind of where we're at right now is, but yeah, Franklin County Sheriff's just got too cost prohibitive for what they were willing to provide for the town.
Okay, and one other thing, the tree over the big tree in the library lawn has a big dead section. Would you allow the beautification committee to hire an insured tree person to come and trim that off? Because we don't want to lose the tree. And
Okay.
we'll pay for it out of our funds, so it won't cost the town anything. Because it's got one big dead section of, goes up to the top.
And are you gonna ask them if it's I don't, you're more than welcome to use your funds for that, but is it a worthwhile endeavor? I guess I would
think the
ask,
rest of the tree is quite healthy still.
you think it'll survive?
I think it would for quite a while, probably, yes.
Okay.
Well, if we get a professional in, that would be the first question, yes.
Yeah,
And if they say, yeah, we think it's feasible, then we'd go ahead. If
Yeah.
they said no, then we're just gonna
Take it down.
we would take the whole thing out of there.
yeah, okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be a danger.
That makes more sense.
Okay, that's it, thank you.
Alright, oh, Bob, I'm sorry, Robert Weatherby, do you have anything?
Yeah, I just got one quick question. Has anything been discussed or what's gonna happen with the dry hydrant in East Richford?
Well, that was gonna be in my town administrator update. There's a program through Vermont Rural Fire Protection, is that correct, Andy?
Yep.
Yeah, they have a program out there to, help with either replacing, updating, or putting in new dry hydrants. So, I've actually filled out the application and I'm getting ready to send that in.
Okay, very good.
That's it, Bob?
That's it.
Okay. The approval of the July 15th, and you wanna do both together?
Yeah.
And July 30th meeting minutes?
Make a motion to approve the July 15th and the July 30th minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Alrighty. Highway report. The town guys have just finished up their sidewalks. It's amazing what they cover within their budget of 16,000 for cement work. They did a lot throughout town. The highway paving, they're doing the second. We did the Pinnacle Road a couple years ago, like the base layer. They're doing that. They're doing Eastern Avenue. Same time we're doing the park and ride, which the park and ride's covered by grants. They're doing Eastern Avenue up to the top of the high school hill. They're also doing Elm Street. And there's one other street and I'm drawing a blank on it. So that's what the highway crew, or the paving budget's gonna cover this year. Beyond that, I think the roadsides have all been done, mowing wise, still doing grading work, when we get downpours, I guess, and the general, whatever just needs to be done for washboards and stuff. Other than that, things are going pretty well.
Have they decided to do like an inventory and mark the streets that need to do and prioritize? We talked about that at one time, that, go through and say, okay, we've only got so much money to do. These are the ones we're gonna go this year, but these are the next ones that we'd like to have. And
I don't believe that has been done, but I can put that on an agenda for Jason to tackle. I think I'm thinking there is a prioritization, but it's probably more of a mental one.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be a bad idea to have it
Right now.
written down.
that way, if you have to do with the budget, it says, oh, this one's gonna cost a little bit more, you know ahead of time and you can budget, you may have to waiver that some years a little bit more because you need a little bit more to get done, that type of thing.
Yeah. Inventory.
Now, how would I be able to get the post office on some type of paving thing? Or if you're because half the driveway's now dirt, somebody's been dug out. Or gravel, I should say, not dirt. Is there any way to add that into anything, or has it already been
Well, wouldn't that be covered? That would be.
We wanna put that in the budget maybe for
Yeah.
next
Yeah, I was gonna
next
say
year? I
Well,
didn't know if
no,
they're
I
you're
mean,
paving.
but,
In the buildings budget?
but it would have to be, it wouldn't be highway budget for that,
No,
No,
no.
didn't know if we could piggyback though.
Yes, I think you could sync it up to when they're here,
Yes, that's what I was asking.
yes.
And who would I contact, or who could I have Marissa contact to find out what it would cost?
Hungerford's coming to do it.
I think, would it be a type of thing where you'd wanna get like 3 bids? I mean, you get 3 bids
Yeah.
with paving, could we have that in the,
Included with the paving?
including with the paving, but when do we get those?
Have them separated
Yeah.
out.
Have them separated,
We
cause
get
they're
those
like
in the-
buildings,
we
but
get the-
including
Yeah,
the
Jason
roads
usually-
they're doing,
usually
so.
he gets those, what, end of March, early April?
Yeah, so when he does that, just,
Add that
maybe we
in
can
there.
add in the post office
Yeah, so
parking
just remind-
lot for
just-
your
Yes.
budget.
Yeah, or do you want, I mean, I guess you could contact one of them, ask the Hungerford people when they're here, you know, just so you
Just
can,
come take a look. so
well, so you can get a
price.
ballpark as to what you wanna
Yeah.
Yeah.
possibly put in your budget, cause it'd be, if
Okay.
you don't have a ballpark, you won't have,
Have anything for my budget, right?
yeah.
well, I'm not sure a lot of the bigger companies would even do a parking lot. Because the people that do driveways are usually the smaller companies and we
So you're
usually
thinking
have
a
the bigger
driveway person
companies
versus
that
a,
pave our roads, cause I'm sure the cost
well, I knew they were doing the
is-
parking lot
Yeah,
down.
you're probably
the
right.
parking
The
lot.
cost is gonna be a lot different when you're doing a straight, half a mile stretch versus a little
Right.
parking lot
Good
where
point.
you.
Yes.
Well, my thought was they were doing the parking ride, so they're gonna be doing that when they're here, right?
But that's a grant too, so.
Right.
I can look into just small driveway paving
Yeah.
companies too,
Yes.
there's plenty of those out there. So I can look into that too, for
Okay.
get quotes for
Perfect,
for
thank
the
you.
budget.
Anything else for the highway? Alrighty, buildings report.
The back door for the post office has been installed, it's working great, holding the rain out. The floors are all done inside the post office, those are great, the girls love them, they said they work great, it lightened up the whole place, it's nice and bright in there. We have the abatement people upstairs in the post office doing that earlier today, so they'll be here all week. Richie was hoping to get the doors done last week down in the basement, but because of all the rain, he was thinking it was coming, that kept saying it was coming. He pushed it off to this week, but the abatement people need to use that door, so it can't be shut off. So he hopefully will come back next week to do the doors down in the basement. And Kylie and I met with the engineer for the heating system here. He just wants some more information, want to take another look around, look at different things. He should be getting back to us with his final drafts and stuff. And then he'll put it out to bid and bring the bids to us. D&D should be here sometime this fall to finish up and do all the electrical. So, a lot of stuff going on. I had, Larry went over and took a look at the roof at the library. He should be going back over. He said he thinks he has something, I'll take care of that. So. And emergency building, overhead doors coming this week to fix the one wire that's bad. The windows now are all completed down there that were broke, that one that was broke. So I think we're looking good down there too. That's it.
Okay. Water and sewer?
Those letters did go out that Rowena was talking about regarding the lead inventory. I think, given the timing, I would think we'd be done in plenty of time. It has to be done by October.
Yeah.
They've got 2 months, so.
They said it wouldn't take long once they started.
Yeah.
So how do they make sure I'm sure do they have to hit a certain percentage of the town? Like, I mean, cause it sounds like it's, like, what if Rena, hypothetically didn't respond?
Well, it sounds like if people don't follow up, they're gonna follow up with people. So if somebody, for whatever reason, didn't get their letter, they're gonna be following up with them, because my understanding is they gotta get everybody.
Okay,
Um,
but it's not on us to, it's not.
No, they're doing it all.
So the first go around is see how many they can get by mailing, then it might be more door knocking.
Door knocking, phone calls, appointments.
Okay.
I mean, they can get contact information, I would think, from Kylie, you know, at least mailing addresses,
Yeah.
so. Yeah. I guess there was some concern about the sewer smell.
Yeah.
For the life of me, I couldn't smell it.
I smelled it actually the first time this morning. and,
Down at the
It's
store
different
is bad.
times.
Yeah, I think it's when the air is kind of heavy and settling in town. Actually gave Jeremy permission to buy some equipment last week to help disperse the chemical that he's looking to put in the lagoon to help increase the oxygen content to decrease the smell. He's got part of it and he's just waiting on some batteries and hopefully that'll move forward.
Did they ever have any luck finding the source of what's causing it?
No, last I spoke with Jeremy, if they can't find it, he's not thinking it's coming in from that side of town. He's gotta look at, this side of town, but basically what that's going to involve is, one of the other, I don't know if it's Simon's that owns it or what, but, something to go pick up these sewer plates and go down and just observe what's actually coming down the drain. That's what was last mentioned to me, to find,
So they can't just I don't know how sewer works, but I'm guessing there's a pipe that comes in from down 105 that way. There's a pipe that comes this way. You can't just keep testing the pipes going backwards.
well, basically you're pulling the cover
Yeah.
to see what's coming in.
So they're not testing it.
Not testing, they're observing. It's a different color than what it should be, is what he's telling me. So. That's all I have.
I guess we don't have parks and playgrounds today.
I
unless
think
you
the
do.
only update is the gate has been locked.
And how's that going?
I think it's gone okay. I think it's working like we kind of wanted. I have gotten a few calls last week of residents who don't abuse the playground, who were complaining that, why are you shutting this down? And I think that's kind of what we wanted. We wanted that feedback. So there's that. Yeah, they were angry because, why are you closing it down and punishing the people who don't abuse it? Well, unfortunately, that's kind of what you have to do. Hopefully enough people will get mad and spread the word.
Yeah, there's no good way about that.
No. No, it's not something that we wanted to do, but
Town administrator?
well, I updated you on, I put in some applications for the dry hydrants. The policing, I got a call on Friday from a state trooper. He was calling around towns to see how the presence of state troopers have been since we don't have a sheriff contract. I've actually had to call them twice within the last couple of weeks. One incident, somebody broke into 54 Street. We had it locked with a realtor. They busted the doorknob off. Nobody was living in there. Within a few hours, they were up here checking out what was going on. They made a report. And then the end of last week, there's been an ongoing incident with Troy Street being painted, which is a Vermont 105, Route 105. I got a phone call from a concerned resident. They were driving through and had to go out and around him, and he didn't move out of the street while painting. So yeah, I called dispatch, and again, within a couple hours, a trooper was up here and they cited 3 people for vandalism. I'm not sure where that's gonna go, but I think that's a more positive presence than it has been in the past, so.
I've
That's,
seen the state
And they-
police here a
yeah.
lot.
I was gonna say, I've noticed in my travels, they're up here
Mhm.
a lot.
and I did stress to them too about the playground, that we did lock it, and, he was gonna pass it along to his night crew that's usually up here, and they're gonna they're gonna swing by and make sure, nothing's going on down there too. They'll make that part of their route, so.
So we do have policing and we do have people that we can contact if something goes on.
And actually with the 50 for our street, the state trooper actually called to the town hall. We had a message the next morning that it had been broken into. Otherwise we would have never known. So,
And we did call for the Historical Society basement
yep.
last Saturday, I don't know. And they had my number and Sonia's number, so I don't know if they responded or not.
Okay. So that's been positive, I think. So we had a meeting last week to set the municipal tax rate. Kylie finally got the state education tax rate. So I have that for everyone, if they wanna sign it, and then I can attach this to the minutes from this meeting. So if you wanna pass it around.
So are you gonna stay with the 10th of August and the 10th of October?
Nope, so, the board, voted to change the first due date to September. So it's September 10th and October 10th.
Can you tell us what the rates are?
Yep, I can. The municipal tax rate, was set at 0.7567, which is a 5-cent decrease from last year, right?
Yeah.
And then, the homestead education tax rate set by the state is 0.9622. Last year's was 0.802. Oh, no, sorry, that's the municipal, was 0.8692. So, a roughly 9-cent increase in the homestead education.
With a non-homestead,
Non-homestead went up substantially.
27 cents.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So hopefully with the, now that, with the new tax bills and the new assessments, hopefully the, people who get a state prebate, hopefully that should have caught up. So they would have used the new assessment to get those numbers.
What's the local agreement, Melissa? What's that?
Veterans.
Veterans,
That's their tax rate?
exemptions,
No, that's an increase to the municipal tax rate for everybody to cover the break veterans get.
I see.
and that's 0.0027.
It's pretty small.
Yeah.
We gotta sign off on this?
Yeah.
Oh, you want us to
Yeah, I
sign
want you to sign it, yes, please. Then I'm gonna attach it to these minutes. Cause we did not have the education tax rate when they
Yeah.
set the municipal, so.
But we did authorize Kylie to move forward.
Yes, you did authorize.
Just to make sure that's a clearing.
That non-homestead tax rate is gonna hit businesses hard.
That's crazy.
That's a lot. Businesses, farms,
Second homes,
second homes.
investment properties, yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's all that I have.
And that
And
is,
then the ARPA meetings, we're gonna have an informational meeting on that.
so that's pretty much, that percentage probably is pretty uniform across the state, right? I mean, for the state, the non-residential one.
I don't, so, I believe
The
it's a-
non-residential probably is.
yeah, not the homestead, you can go right on the state of Vermont website and see. And our education tax rate is quite a bit lower than most towns. Most towns are over $1 for the homestead.
Well, I'm surprised, aren't you, John? Because that's what they said. It couldn't
Yeah.
couldn't go below $1 anyway.
Right.
So I don't know, maybe there's something that got flexed or whatever. But that's pretty sizable below $1.
Right.
And that's all that I have.
the animal ordinance, have you finished updating that?
Almost. Tracy is supposed to give me some of her input. I haven't heard from her. But I do have my version somewhat done. I want to go through it one more time. I actually got an email from some other administrators, and they were seeking other towns' animal ordinances, so I want to do a little bit more research on what other towns are doing as well before I submit my changes to the board.
The parking ordinance, did you guys, everybody have a chance to review those?
I'm good with them, I think we need it.
Alan?
Yeah, I'm good with
I mean, there was nothing drastic. The only thing I wanna make sure everybody's on board with is we did put in eliminating the parking from River Street up past the crossing, or Mocha's. So we'll lose that.
Just one side.
Yeah, just the left-hand side, 4 to 5 parking spots. I mean, I think we'll hear some pushback on that, but I think it's the appropriate time to do it to.
That, and we are adding the park and ride.
We have a park and ride and we have a municipal
Parking lot
parking
right here.
lot, less than 100 yards each direction. So as long as we're good with that, I'll work with Marissa to finalize those with the town attorney, answer her questions.
And then we just gotta make sure we post them correctly.
Well, we're gonna
post it with the water and sewer.
Yeah, I
Rules.
just got Kylie's stuff
Yep.
tonight, just as I was coming in, so I'll have to go through
and then would we do the animal control stuff at the same time too? I mean,
We could.
yeah, might as well,
Might as well if you're gonna change it, cause that's an ordinance, so.
Okay. So yeah, I will, maybe you and I can find a time to sit down and
Yeah.
just resolve the
Yep.
the final differences. You can work with the town attorney to get it,
Mhm.
the fine details flushed out.
Is there any parking for like these books out here on Main Street?
There is no there's no on street residential parking. So that it's gonna give us some leeway.
And it
And
lists,
no
it lists
overnight
Main
parking.
Street.
Yeah,
right?
well, no, I don't think it's specific. I think
Because it's not
it's
specific.
I think it's across the town. If we
Okay.
we don't want people parking on the street
Yeah.
as a permanent solution to their parking.
Right.
So I think it'll be challenging to enforce, but we'll definitely have the authority to do so when we choose. Like if we don't want parking there,
Mhm.
we have the ability to tow. We'll probably want to put a few warnings out, but we do have that authority to, at the discretion of anybody on this. I think any town official or Jason could also do it as needed. So that is in there.
Thank you.
I just have one quick discussion under
For executive?
executives, yeah,
For
personnel.
personnel.
Are you gonna be taking a vote afterwards?
No, so we'll just, if there's nothing else, I move, we go to executive. Those in favor?
Aye.
All right.